Primal Code debut album comes out November 15th. The band is a three-piece death metal band, which there's not a lot of those around. I mean, they're here and there, but what bands inspired you to pursue death metal, man?
The big one that got the band rolling was, I mean, pretty noticeable. If you even listen to the only song that's on the internet from the album now is Bolt Thrower.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, you can't really. That's pretty much a perfect fucking band.
Okay.
But I mean, you can go down the wormhole, but we're pretty all into the big greats of the early '90s and 2000s. So, Chuck Schuldiner and Death and Obituary, everything they've ever done, and
Tell me about it.
Skinless, Dismember, Entombed, like all the things you could think of. A lot of we were, of course, huge Dying Phoenix, Cannibal Corpse fans and all that stuff, but we were all really drawn to the very Cro-Magnon, we like to call them GED riffs that a lot of the mid-pace bands present you with.
Right on. Yeah, cool, man. Both thrower. Christ, I haven't heard from them in ages, but yeah, that's a pretty good lineup to draw some inspiration from, man, for sure.
Their singer, a singer, and I believe one of the original drummers is in another band called Memoriam. That's actually awesome if people are into that.
Okay. I'll have to check them out, man. I tell you, you do vocals and play guitar. The concentration level that it takes to do that and to lay down these brutal riffs while you're ripping out some vocals, man. That's just crazy to me, man. Good for you. Does that
I appreciate it.
take a lot of effort to get that, or which is easier for you, the vocals or the singing, or I mean, the
Um,
guitar playing?
it was the guitar playing is easier. What's funny is it kind of happened happenstance. We started with an actual singer before we recorded our demo, and it kind of went the wayside. He's a good friend of ours, just didn't work out. So I was like, I think I could do it, and figured out how to do it with no plan of, okay, I can sing like this. How do I play guitar and do it?
Yeah,
So in
sure.
my head, I thought, oh, this will be fine. I'll be playing guitar and just have to I'll autopilot the guitar and focus on the singing, figuring it, or vice versa. I would just kind of do whatever. And it was the complete opposite. I actually have to really think about what I'm playing on guitar and have to autopilot the singing.
Yeah. And it's
And
intense, man,
I
because
don't,
to the vocals that you're singing obviously are intense, and the guitar matches that too. So, that's some kind of brain action there to make all that happen straight.
yeah, it's all happenstance. I wish I could say I was some sort of better musician or had some theory or some wild shit that I don't do, but everything gets written separately, and then placing the words a lot of times we do together, and it's so far it kind of maps out. We haven't hit any. Then I have to just go hole up somewhere and figure out how to play guitar and do it at the same time. A lot of times you kind of find this some of the words where they hit and how you enunciate them hit at certain parts of riffs,
Oh, okay.
which is strange because I figure all that out after the fact. Like I've never written lyrics with a riff in mind. I'm just like, this is what this song's about's in my head, and that's what I'm gonna write down. And then I'm like, okay, how the hell do I put these words to this now? And
Oh,
then I
wow.
listen to
Okay.
it over and over and over and over again, and they kind of synergistically meet up, and I'm like, it starts becoming this autopilot thing. But it's a little bit of a pain, but I actually do quite enjoy it.
What's the metal scene like in Chicago now? Like I said, I'm here in Philadelphia, and a lot of the little clubs didn't make it past COVID. Um, the death metal bands
No,
and the heavy metal bands, they play the smaller standing room only clubs, and there's only like one or two here in Philly. What's it like in Chicago?
oh, I would say a vast majority of the big heavy hitters all made it through COVID. I don't know how, but they did, and
Well,
it seems it's almost oversaturated now, which I think is good. I play in a band with the guy, another band with the guy that's a promoter, and he's like, it's so hard to book because there's every weekend, every other day, there's just 2, 3 shows happening all the time. But
oh man,
we have quite a bit of smaller to mid-sized clubs. We play Reggie's a lot in Chicago, which has a smaller room and a big room. The Cobra Lounge, which is like a standing room only bar, Beat Kitchen, Live Wire Lounge. There's quite a few.
we
Yeah,
have like three
it's.
in
I mean, there's
Philadelphia
there's
that are
other ones I'm
good.
forgetting. Oh no, yeah, they're
Wow.
all we have, and then we have a lot of mid-sized bigger clubs, the Metro, the Avondale Music Hall. There's quite a bit for any and all underground music, just whether it be hardcore, death metal, whatever it may be.
That's awesome, man. And with you coming out with a new album to get out there and play live, at least there's opportunities there.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, people have been super kind about the announcement about the signing and asking us to play, and it's almost been overwhelming. Which I'm not complaining; it's been awesome. But I'm like, oh, we can only have one record release show, but all these great people are asking us to do these great things, and I'm like, I don't know which one to do.
You know,
So
it's a good problem
thankfully,
to have, man.
scheduling scheduling forced us into the one we're going to play in December. So I was like, well, this is the one we're all here for. So this is what we're doing, which is a phenomenal show. So I have no complaints. But yeah, it's great in Chicago.
Well, the album that's coming out, it's your debut album, Opaque Fixation on November 15th through Relapse Records. I mean, a new band with their debut album coming out on such a killer label like Relapse. Give me some idea of what the trip's been like to get to this point in your career.
Pretty wild, man. So being a three piece, it was really easy to write. We had a demo and essentially two EPs before we shacked up with Relapse. And we had talked to our friend Drew, who knew our bass player from other bands that were on Relapse or had connections to Relapse or whatever that may be. And he had been like, "Oh, I dig it." And like, okay, cool. And we just kind of left it at that and thought nothing of it, not realizing we were kind of getting slowly vetted or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Um, but it was really easy because there's three of us and we've all been playing music a long time and we're all old men. So we've been around long enough. It's easy to get shows in your new band if you've been around for forever. So we just played shows, just kind of organically did it. And it really just, when it happened, I guess it wasn't out of the blue, but it felt super out of the blue. We just got to like, hey, do you guys have plans? Like, no, of course we don't. We're idiots. And they're like, well, do you want to do this with us? Like, of course we want to do that with you. Like, I
Hell
couldn't
yeah.
think of anything better than that with Relapse. You know what I mean? I
Absolutely, man.
still don't. I still don't believe it, even though I'm on phone calls and email chains and I see pictures of the record. Like I'm not gonna believe it's I'm holding the damn thing and it says it on there. Like I'm still waiting for like a curtain to drop. I'm like, just kidding, fuck you guys.
How cool is that, dude? I mean, good for you, man.
I
That's got to be awesome.
I I can't think of. I mean, there's tons of great labels, and we had like, debated making press kits and trying to push it, but we're not. None of us are kind of wired like that. We were just playing shows and like, oh, if somebody sees it, cool. And like we had labels in mind that we really liked. We'd like to like, oh, it'd be cool to put a record out with this person or that person. But Relapse is always the pinnacle of all of that for us. I mean,
Yeah.
they own the rights to the Death records, and they put up the last Obituary record and the High and Fire record. Like it's awesome. Died the New Dying Fetus record. Uh, so it's just completely unreal for what we do to be recognized by someone like that. It's just incredible for us.
And I mean, they're spending the time in the death metal genre and putting out albums. I just talked to your label mates at Living Gate last week, and they have a
Yeah,
debut LP coming out too. So, and I got two other interviews just this week about with new death metal bands. So that's cool
yeah.
that genre is still, very strong, especially this year.
There's a lot of really cool bands, and there's a lot of really cool bands that are doing different things, which is shocking. There's so many like that. It's not just the same. It's everybody's got like a unique sound. It's really cool, man.
And that's one thing that's hard to understand for me is it's been around for so long, and you musicians keep coming up with different ways to just change it and make it evolve.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it happens, but I'm glad it does.
For sure,
You know?
man. Yeah, it keeps it fresh. I'll tell you, the album I is so strong, Gene. And in my
Oh, thank you.
opinion, a lot of your vocals, the first thing again just came into my mind was Johan Hegg from Amon Amarth.
Oh,
Just
awesome. Thank you.
the way your voice
Yeah.
is, that's what I heard when I first heard. You might have to help me with the pronunciation, but is it Anapsid? This
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Napsid, right? Yeah, it just that clicked into me like Johan Hegg. And in my living room, I do concert photography too, and I got a big picture of Johan right there from Mona Marth, and I'm like, that dude sounds like that. I've never heard anybody with that type of register and that low,
Yeah, that
nastiness,
grizzly
man.
kind of
It's fucking
talking.
awesome, dude. Yeah.
You know what's funny is my kid who's only 5 loves Amon Amarth, loves it because it's all Vikings and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're driving in the truck and he's always like, "This is a sick riff." I'm like, "Yeah, buddy," but we'll put it on. And he twice was like, "Is that you singing?" I was like, "No, dude, that's a different guy." He's like, "No, that's you." I was like, "Oh
The
my god!"
first
So
thing
it's
I thought
shocking
of,
you
dude,
said
that's so
that. Yeah,
funny.
yeah. I mean, it totally on accident. I've never seen him live. I've listened to the records before, but
Wow.
it's total complete on accident.
A Napsid is a single that's been released along with the video, and I mean, it kicks off with a simple but heavy bass line from Will, and then just all hell breaks loose, man. How did that song come about for you guys?
Um, So I write a lot of the stuff on with a drum loops or drum machine, whatever you want to call it, at home. And it was actually a song that I was kind of tinkering by myself for nothing, another band, I don't know, that didn't match this band at like half that tempo with some other riffs. And I was listening to, I think, the new Obituary record, and I forgot which song. I wish I remember. I think it's called War, but where they're just screaming through some part in that song. And I don't know why, because they're not similar songs, but I was like, man, I wonder that riff I had the other day if I just like double timed it. Like went and tinkered. I was like, oh shit, this is it. Like
Oh
I like
wow,
this.
okay.
This is fun. And then I had the verse riff, that like kind of Slayer part that goes real fast, for something else, and I that it just didn't match. And I was like, well, I have this, and then all of a sudden it really just fell into place. I really like the song. It's probably my one of my favorite, second favorite on the record, maybe. I just like it because it feels like you're just inside of a bulldozer. It's just it never ends. It's just overpowering and too much.
And,
I really enjoy that song.
and I mean, what's intense is your guitar and James's drums. They just feed off each other so well, man. It's just intense.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
You know, and you add that strong assertive vocals behind it. And I mean the kicker is like the last two something minutes is just there's no vocals. It's just you guys, continue the song jamming. And it's just that last couple minutes is just so good. Just to hear what you guys got going on musically, man. It's something else, man.
We I really appreciate that, man. We're pretty into the whatever feeling people get from the song. So especially if it's something where I don't gotta yell about something that's still giving you a certain feeling a certain way. I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not discounting the vocals even a little bit. The vocals kill, but that last 2 minutes of that song, it's like it just envelops you, man. It's fucking great.
Awesome, thank you.
James, I'll tell you what, he's a madman on the drums, and the drumming on the song "Derelict" is just
Oh boy, yeah.
otherworldly, dude. I mean, holy shit, it's so
Yeah, he's
strong.
an animal. He's an absolute animal. And it's like he just keeps getting better. When we recorded the record, we told him you got to record to a click track, and he was like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, dude, you have to do it. And he did that, and however that landed in his brain, his drumming just like it just exploded. And even now, it's like every time we play, I'm like, what is going on with you?
Yeah, he's like a
It's
machine, man.
cool,
It's
man.
crazy.
He is. He really is. And he will do it. When we filmed that video, he must have did when we filmed the video, we didn't do it to a backing track. He put a click track in his ears and just played, and we played the song. That because he's in time, we're in time. And he must have done it 35 times, like
Wow.
minimal to no breaks. Was like, yeah, I'm good, yeah,
Wow.
I'm good, yeah, I'm good. Like, are you sure? Because like I'm getting tired and I'm just doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
he's a robot.
crazy, man.
He's impressive.
I'll tell you, Gene, the guitars on the song Angler, I mean, if that song doesn't get a freaking mosh pit going when you play that live, there's nothing in the world that's going to. I mean, that's one epic song, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, the end of it's my favorite, and I always worry that the rest of it wasn't fitting enough for the rest. Like I'm like, oh god, I don't want to make people sit through mediocre nonsense just to get to this end. So I hope somebody enjoys it, but it seems like it's okay, so I'll take it.
You guys have any other? I mean, you only got a couple weeks left until the album debuts. You have any other singles coming up beforehand, or
Yeah, we are releasing the song Derelict tomorrow at like
nice?
10 a.m. Central, I'm told. I forgot what the date is. Tomorrow's the 17th, I believe.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So we're releasing that song.
Cool.
And then in early November, I want to say around the second, third, fourth, somewhere on there, they're going to release Extinction.
Okay. All right. Another good one.
And then the
Excellent.
night after that, the record's out.
Yeah, I'm dying to see what the fans think about Derelict because it blew me away, man.
Yeah, that
That's a good one.
that hands down. Napsid's a big favorite, but Derelict hands down is my favorite, and like lyrically means the most to me. Like
Okay.
I'm a big fan of that one, and I'm actually like I hope somebody likes it because I enjoy it, and I'd like to share it with people that also like it. I hope whatever.
I dig it absolutely, man. I mean, the people can catch the band at primalcode.bandcamp.com. You have Facebook and Instagrams too, or
No Facebook. We do have Instagram. It's at primal.code
okay,
312.
okay,
It's a Chicago
very
area
cool.
code.
Well, I'm telling you guys, November 15th, Opaque Fixation comes out on Relapse, and it's a killer, man. Anybody who likes the death metal genre and new modern twist to it, this is the album to get. So Gene, I appreciate your time today, man, and good luck with the album. And yeah, I hope to talk to you down the road.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I really appreciate your time.